Good morning, Tunisian Crochet Graphghan Boutique. Today we are going to be talking about calculating yarn usage for a Graphghan. The best way that I've found to do this is to work up your gauge swatch, and there's a video that explains gauge swatches and how to calculate how big your project's going to be. And you can watch that, it's also in our group. The best way that I've found to calculate your yarn usage is to use your gauge swatch, and there's 10 stitches wide on here. What we're going to do is we're going to hold your yarn, you're going to pull your hook out and slip it in the stitch underneath. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull out all of those stitches back to the first loop that's on the hook. I'm going to try to keep this on the camera the best I can. You're going to take the part that you're holding, I got to reach around my stand, and put that on your 1-inch mark for your measuring tape. Then we're going to slide your yarn down all the way back to your hook. Let's see if I can get in focus. There we are. So I have 23 inches that I use for 10 stitches. So that's about 2.3 inches per stitch. I usually round up. I like a rounded number, so I usually round up to 25, which would give you 2.5 inches per stitch. Now, if you take that and you have, for instance, 200 stitches. Now, we've done the calculations for the 10 stitches, which, like I said, I'm going to round mine up to 25. You can either take your 10 stitches and use the math for that, which would be, since you have 200 stitches, you're going to use the math for 20 because you're doing multiples of 10. Or you can just do the multiples of 1, and you can figure out that you're using 2.5 inches of yarn for each stitch. And when I do that, I also like to round up a little bit for tails. So when I go in and I look at my yardage that's on my packaging, there's 315 yards. If my yarn works out that I have a lot of color changes, then I will add a good 100 yards just for color changes, because you have tails from your bobbins and you have to weave, and if you've cut it into balls, then you have to deal with that being cut off too. So I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Have a great day.